Whoop, 1 4 4 3 1 2 7 6 8 25 7 17 12 12 12 15 1 1 2 3 7 7 18 18 6. What are we going for here? We're trying to shift our mindsets into an asset gear. Once it is more clear that it is apparent that sometimes it's a necessity to try to be around the most assets possible to be able to start to develop an asset mindset. Starting to be able to make friends a little bit with numbers is a thing that I think is corresponding to be around assets, and wanting to be around assets by digesting certain data, digesting different data some days and every single day actually of the week, so that in essence there is a sort of a trading games and currents where ultimately you're able to trade the games that are typical in childhood or in later adult life or in other times for trading. A trading games mentality, to be able to make that shift, it's necessary to be able to spend time with assets, and at the same time to be able to play the game, to be able to make trades, make consistent trades. Almost like having an alarm on your refrigerator that when any time that it goes off, that you're able to go and find a trade and then be able to go make that trade, execute that trade, try to get a feel for the flow of making trades in rapid fashion, so that just that activity of making similar trades on a day-to-day basis is something that's in your wheelhouse of thought and mind frame, to where you want to constantly be able to continue to search for more assets to be able to try to trade when you think times are different and shifting, and for whatever reason you develop your own mindset and you develop your own process and your own strategy and your own conceptualization for thinking about markets and markets all around the whole world. And by doing this, there is a way to connect with a group of people who have this way of thinking, an asset mindset. There's a social media concept that is something that I guess I would suggest more than any of the others in this episode. It is something that you could potentially put on the front cover of your phone, so that in essence, anytime that you're able to turn on your phone, you have one application staring at you in essence, so that ultimately you're always surrounding yourself by asset people and asset mindsets and asset trading conceptual activity, just like searching for music on the internet. In essence, you're searching for inspiration. You're searching for inspiration for different sounds that are interesting to be able to inspire certain activities to be able to occur, so that you're able to also find your own business music, so you find your own business music way, so you find companies in the world that are doing things that are aligned with your own values, to be able to maybe someday, through all the learning, through the top-down learning process of finding successful companies and following successful companies, and top-down trickling down your information ladder into yourself, into your own mind, into your own brain, into a strategic process, so that you're able to absorb all this conceptual information, that in essence that you go and trickle it down from successful companies around the world. And that also can stem from other investors that are around the world that are focused on different companies and different strategies that have certain processes that revolve around successful companies and certain brands and certain energy that's asset energy in essence. And so stock twits is something that I recommend as an application, as one of maybe the only applications for social media to be able to try to focus on in the future, so that in essence you can play the trading games, so that in essence you're able to change the games that you tend to play on a day-to-day basis and change it for trading, even if you're just paper trading and you're trading paper and you're not actually trading real money necessarily, or necessarily real money, monetary energy. Then it's good to get a sense of just being around numbers. It's good to get a sense of clearing out all of the other mindsets and elements around the whole world that in essence are distractions. There's 99% distractions around most of the time, most often, most frequently. So in essence, if you can find a way to clear out and use this mechanism to be able to try to clear out 99% of mechanical distractions by focusing on the social media platform stock twits, that maybe it's a conceptual suggestion for being able to try to focus on significantly a narrow perspective which revolves around assets and asset focus, because in essence there's so many distractions and everybody wants your attention, everybody wants to pull your attention away from assets. So just trading in the game of trading, and also corresponding to posting your trades conceivably on stock twits, for example, is something that you could necessarily do, but you don't necessarily have to, because you can necessarily just get some inspiration from the website and from the platform to be able to try to get a little incentive to be able to make your own process, so that you can then therefore make your own strategy that then therefore is continuous learning. It's continuous learning. It's consistent learning. It's like playing an instrument on a consistent basis. Except it is business music. It's business music. It's business music that you're playing. So in essence, what you're trying to focus upon is making your own business music by developing your own focus on different trades that are happening around the world, and developing on different market flows and essences of different flows of trade energy that is shifting from one side of the world to another on a consistent basis, and being able to make this track of trade energy in your mind, in your brain, and be able to track it into almost a pattern, into a format, into a picture, into an art piece on your wall, so that you can trade and track your own strategy mentality, so that one day to the next you have a different way of an ebb and flow that you're tracking from one day to the next, to be able to try to develop trend processing and trend following and trend developing of your own strategic mindset, so that in essence the companies that are successful in the world are able to hopefully rub off on you, and you have this mindset that is an asset mindset, that in essence you can't help but develop into an asset mindset, because you're following what the most successful companies hopefully in the world are trying to do, to be able to implement certain actions, to be able to try to then therefore develop their valuation to increase in size, so that then you are also able to follow in proxy, and by that means follow in the footsteps on certain websites such as StockTwits. It is an interesting website, so that at least you've got like a Twitter that exists, that is less controversial conversation, and more so asset focused, and also successful trade focused, and also trades that are resulting trades focused, so that in essence you're able to see where people started in certain trades and then ended at certain trades, so that in essence you have the ability to be able to try to copy that momentum or that conceptual time frame shift from one day to the next, in terms of how long one person and what time one person entered and exited at a trade, and how their strategy occurred, and how you can manage a similar mindset if you continue to develop enough data processing and enough points in the systematization of your own mindset, to be able to then focus on assets, so that anywhere you go, anytime in the world that you are traveling or making context to new items or itemization of new data, necessarily that you're able to reference it into a global framework of a mentality that corresponds to a global economy, that corresponds to people that are trading assets on a day-to-day basis, and that therefore can allow you to then therefore grow your own mindset, similar to playing a music instrument, similar to playing your brain like a music instrument. In essence, playing your brain like a music instrument, like trading games, like playing your brain like business music, playing your brain like a business music instrument on a day-to-day basis, playing the numbers, 2, 3, 4, 17, 1, 6, 14, 7, 8, 8, 2, 11, 15, 29, 72, 8, 6, 12, yeah. So in essence, I guess to wrap it up, we'll just try to bottom line it that we were trying to talk about the application of StockTwits, which is similar to the old name for Twitter, which had to do with posting tweets and is now called X. But in essence, this is just focusing on assets in essence, so you can be able to try to get rid of all the other things on that X website necessarily, to just try to focus on assets, and similarly make it a symbol for getting rid of or sidelining or sideswiping all the rest of the focuses and the mindsets in the world that in essence do not include necessarily the top aspect of the mindsets, which are asset mindsets, so that you can just focus on your game, the game of trading, and playing your game like a game of business music, playing the instrument of your game, strumming and re-stringing your brain to be able to try to make new sounds and look for the new sounds of business music, to be able to continue to just try to circulate your mindset and try to just extend the pattern of focused extension for data processing, yeah! Whoa. So if there's one social media platform that might be one that can stand out to just try to train the brain to focus on assets at all given times all around the world, always, it might be StockTwits. Put it on the home screen of your phone, conceivably, if you want to, potentially to just try to get the swing for focusing on nothing else except assets. So all the other people that are playing the same instrument as you, that is the brain playing business music with their brain, in essence, are hopefully the most focal friends that you can conceivably find, that want to also train you to continue to push yourself, to be able to continue to tune your mental instrument, to be able to continue to refine your business music sound, to be able to continue to add value to the global philanthropy energy grid, because you're adding value by solving problems around the whole world, by connecting with entrepreneurship directly, with this mindset directly, so that then therefore you're able to then therefore be able to connect demand to supply, to then therefore be able to add to the global philanthropy energy grid. You're able to then add a whole bunch of value to the global philanthropy energy grid that we're all connected by in the form of electricity, also known as the global philanthropy energy grid. Thanks again. Dinky Tech, bye, peace, bye. Dinky Tech, change for games. Dinky Tech, change for games studios. Bye, peace, bye.